What's up guys, this is KP Kwan from Taste of Asian Food. Sesame balls or Jian Dui is a famous Chinese pastry made from glutinous rice flour. It is coated with sesame seeds on the outside and encases the sweetened filling consists of red bean paste, peanut paste or lotus paste. I'm making sesame balls in this video with my favorite peanut paste filling, which happens to be the most popular one. I'll also include the recipe in the description below the video so you don't have to copy the details while watching. Let's get started. The first step is to dissolve the sugar in water to make a syrup. Adding the hot water from a thermal flask to dissolve the sugar is a much simpler way than boiling it with water. Now measure the glutinous rice flour as indicated in the recipe. And then add the warm syrup to it and knead it to become a dough. Initially, the flour and syrup do not seem to form a cohesive dough. However, it will slowly stick together and pick up the flour in the bowl. Once the dough is soft and malleable, divide it into portions of about 25 grams each. Once you divide the dough into small portions, roll them between your palms and cover them at all times to prevent them from drying. Now let's look at the filling. The fillings of the sesame ball is usually a sweet paste. The typical fillings are lotus seed paste, red bean paste, and peanut paste. This time I make it with peanut paste, which consists of crushed peanuts, peanut butter, and honey. Mix the crushed peanuts, smooth peanut butter, and honey to form the peanut paste as the filling. You may want to use sugar instead of honey to make it sweeter, or add more peanut butter to soften the peanut paste. You have the option to change the ratio of these ingredients if you make it yourself. The weight of the filling I use is half the dough, which means for 25 grams of dough, I use 13 grams of filling. You also need to get ready a bowl of white sesame seeds and some water. Now let's assemble the sesame balls. You need to encase the filling inside the thin dough. First, roll a portion of the dough between your palm to make it spherical. If you find it is too dry, wet one of your palms with some water before rolling it. Make a dent at the center of the dough and continue pinching with your fingers to shape it like a small teacup. Try to make the thickness of the cup evenly and the depth is at least enough to hold the filling. Place one ball of the filling inside the teacup. Hold it with your thumb and index finger. Turn it slowly while working the dough upward to cover the filling. When it's about to cover the filling, wet the edge of the dough and pinch and seal the dough. Then, roll it between your palms until the seam is no longer visible. Dip the ball into water and immediately remove it and shake off the excess. The wet surface of the dough helps to stick the sesame seeds securely on it. Transfer directly into a bed of sesame seeds in a bowl and cover the surface thoroughly with sesame seeds. Press the sesame ball lightly to ensure all the sesame seeds have adhered to the surface firmly. Otherwise, they will fall off while deep frying. Let's move on to deep fry the sesame balls. Heat the oil to 120 degrees Celsius or 250 degrees Fahrenheit. If the temperature is too high, the outer part of the dough will set quickly and tend to crack while the inside is still inflating. The sesame balls will initially sink to the bottom. At this point, keep stirring to move them to avoid sticking to the bottom. After a minute, the outer part of the sesame balls will start to cook and will no longer sticky. The sesame balls will start to float to the top after about 3 to 4 minutes. After about 4 minutes, the sesame balls will start floating to the surface, and you use a slotted spoon or wire mesh strainer to stir and press them down lightly to submerge them into the oil. This step helps the sesame balls to cook uniformly into a spherical shape. Now, this process will take about 6 to 8 minutes until they reach the maximum size. Deep frying with low heat, stir constantly, are the most important factors to make it a success. The temperature at this point should maintain as before, while the inside keeps expanding. If you use high heat, the ball will continue to inflate and is too fast, so eventually it will burst and explode. Once the sesame balls are fully expanded, you can now turn up the heat to 170 degrees Celsius or about 335 degrees Fahrenheit. It will take another 2 to 4 minutes until they become golden. Once they are golden, remove and place them on paper towel to absorb the excess oil. The outer layer is crispy but still soft and chewy on the inside. When correctly done, the size will expand to about 1.5 to 2 times of the original size. The filling has detached from the outer layer and you can hear the hollow sound when you shake it. It is best to serve when it is freshly made. It is crispy on the outside, slightly chewy, with the sweet filling inside. That's how to make sesame balls or Jian Dui, and I hope you enjoy it. So please subscribe, tap the notification bell, and click the like button if you like the video. Finally, don't forget to share with your friends and family on social media such as Instagram, Facebook, or Pinterest. And that's all for now. I'll see you again in another video soon. Thanks for watching and bye for now.